from Chicago is Steve Virgona. Receiving from Tuxedo, Tim Chisholm. It is 2 out of 3, 1 due sad, and 3 all in the third if we get that. Play well, guys. Bolts.
Good afternoon. It's about 12:30 here in beautiful, sunny Boston, Massachusetts at the Tennis and Racket Club. We're here for a match between Chicago and Tuxedo. Steve Virgona playing for the Windy City. Tim Chisholm for beautiful, scenic Tuxedo Park. I'm your commentator, Ken Fortin, and I'm here with special guest, the club president of the TNR, Matt Mitchell. How you doing, Matt?
Very good. Good afternoon, Ken.
How you doing? This is the third match of this morning. This is the decider, I suppose, because Connor Medlow had a fantastic comeback in the number 2 singles earlier this morning, and then Tuxedo just took the doubles. I believe it was 8-5. This is sort of I'd call this the classic match. Both of these fellows have been on the pro touring circuit for probably 20 plus years at this point.
I agree. I've been looking forward to this match and looking forward to some heavy hitting, as both of these players have been known for during their careers.
That's correct. Of course, Tim is back to playing a little bit more vigorously now that he's had both of his knees replaced. Titanium Tim. And you can see there's a brace on Steve Virgona's right ankle. He had surgery back in January. It stopped him from playing yesterday. We had a sub in for him, and Connor Medlow played 1. That was a pretty tough match last night against James Stout, but he seemed to have recovered this morning.
No, he looks it looks to be moving fairly well.
Nice play there. Well, Chicago's on the board, 1-love. Your marker is James Asher of Philadelphia. Comes to us from the game of squash, I believe. There's quite a little squash dynasty going on these days down at the Racket Club of Philadelphia. I see that Amanda Sobey, the number 1 American woman, is working out with the club down there. That's a great get for Robbie and the folks down in Philadelphia. I guess the U.S. Squash built a facility at Drexel.
That's right.
University. I don't know too much about that. I certainly know that our U.S. Court Tennis Association President Jim Zug knows about that, as he's on the U.S. Squash Board.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility, and obviously Philadelphia, a great squash town.
Certainly is. I wonder if these guys are thinking about their prior matches. So much has changed for them over the years. Tim has Tim has been married quite a while. He's got 3 children. His eldest, I believe, is just graduating college. I mean, I know that has a way of making you feel a million years old. Steve Virgona, sort of later to fatherhood's got a young child right now, probably a year-old now, maybe.
I think a little bit older, but yes, a new father.
2.
So he looks more awake than I would expect.
He's got slight bags under the eyes.
Yes, but that's
Wow. Talk about finesse.
That's great for Steve. We have Magda and I have a soft spot in our heart for Steve. We've hosted him a number of times, and
Right.
real gentleman of the game, a great player, and I've always liked to see him play, and has always been extremely welcoming to our TNR members who visit the great club in Chicago.
Yeah, the Chicago club is really a cut above. As somebody said, it's like a cruise ship on land. One of the last remaining clubs where you just dial up and you can have your lunch brought to you wherever you like.
This is true. As I recall, we had an entertaining weekend at the opening,
Yes, we did.
which resulted in us having to drive back to Boston from Chicago in the middle of a hurricane.
That's the way that it ended. I learned a couple things on that trip, Matt. Number one, always carry cash. You saved us a couple times with your money clip, and we'll leave it at that. And then, of course, we were caught by that terrible storm, and we both decided we weren't going to wait around until Thursday to get a plane. And we tried to rent like a Lincoln, I think. I said we got to rent a big car
Yes.
to be comfortable, and maybe some other people had an idea as well, and we ended up with some terrible, like a Ford Flex or something like that.
Something like that, although I recall that your neighbor had asked us to drive back his nanny, so
Yes.
this poor young woman had to listen to you and I talk about court tennis for 22 hours.
Oh God, yes. Honestly, you couldn't ask anything more from her, though, because she just sat silently in the back. Let's hope she was sleeping for most of it. I mean, who wants to listen to us for
Yeah.
22 hours?
Although my favorite part of that trip was as we were racing back to Boston to beat this mega hurricane, we did take time to stop in Buffalo at the Anchor Bar
Oh, that's right.
to have the full treatment.
That's right. Got some real authentic wings. It was good. It was a good trip. It's also thank God for Sirius Radio. I remember that's another thing I did after that trip. After having driven so much, I probably subscribed to Sirius for about 3 years after that, and that actually Jessica, my wife, had for a couple of years there had this absolutely terrible commute from Rosendale, where we were living, up to Melrose, where we live now and where she teaches, and she said that the comedy channels on Sirius, I think there were like 4 comedy channels, kept her from losing her mind on this impossibly long commute through the city.
Well, I just have good memories of that. The opening tournament and party hosted by Chicago, and then ever since then they've been a great contributor to the game, and I think really has changed for the better. Court tennis and having that court at an important club like Chicago has been
15 worse than 3.
you can't undermeasure the benefit there.
It's a very very tight match so far. We're at 1-all, 30-all. Can't ask for tighter than that.
This is true.
Let's check out the chat, see if we have anybody on with us. Dial into our new match. Robbie Whitehouse asks, do you guys have a translator for this marker? I love it. We'll have to find out exactly where Mr. Asher is from. I'll tell you one thing about playing court tennis is I had a very minor case of Anglophilia before court tennis, and now I have a fully flagrant case. I would say I'm just fascinated by all aspects of the UK at this point. I mean, obviously, the Americans, we pretty much steal all their television shows and turn them into shadows of their former selves, but
one of the most rewarding parts of the game is the ability to travel and to see the different courts and to meet
nice shot, Tim.
all the interesting and unique people that play this interesting and unique game. And Magda, my wife, and I have had the privilege to be able to travel and play a number of the courts internationally, and that's been one of the best things that we've done.
Great carbon copy right there from Tim.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. I was saying at an earlier match this week that 2 summers ago I was lucky enough to go to Paris with my family, and I played the Paris court for the first time, and that was just such an amazing experience. You go to a city like that, and there's a court waiting for you, and Rob McNaughton
What a warm welcome.
took good care of me.
Yeah, we've Magda and I have been to the Paris court, and what a really warm welcome, and was able to play a few matches, and it caused me to stretch my high school French experience in figuring out how to call the chases.
Oh God, yeah, that did not go well.
I can't remember how to. Could not remember how to say 14, chase 14 in French.
The
2 games to 1.
the court, plays so oddly.
Very bouncy and
ultra bouncy
and the high ceiling. It's great. I really I love. That's one of my favorite courts.
Yes, the ceiling is amazing. I mean, you honestly feel like you're in the tennis cathedral when you're there.
But it's interesting. These courts, they reflect the communities that they serve, and each has its own. It's a really distinct experience going to these different courts, and that's really the fun of it. I think we have a unique experience here at the TNR, and we're very pleased that our U.S.-based pros have been able to come and experience it. They seem to be enjoying town and enjoying the Boston hospitality.
So much to do and see here in Boston. You're a New England native, Matt, correct?
I am.
You were you raised in Ashland or?
I was.
Okay, there you
So,
go.
and family from the west, the old west end of Boston, which is
Ah. Right around City Hall,
yes.
Scully Square. I'm a native Buffalonian. And for the life of me, with the tennis families from Buffalo, I cannot figure out why there is not a court tennis court there.
It's true. It has the same. You have, some of the great court tennis families from Buffalo. It has certainly some of the infrastructure there that you would think would sustain that.
I mean, at the time that tennis courts were being built in the United States was at a time where Buffalo was a highly influential industrial city. At one point, it had something like the fifth highest population of any city in the country. It had a thriving economy. It had its share of robber barons, etc. And
Had all the elements that you would think would be facilitate a tennis court. Probably comes down to interest. Same thing with a Detroit or St. Louis that had rackets courts or have rackets courts, and it's interesting.
15, 14.
Yep. Of course, building a court tennis court is no mean feat. We have two projects going on right now in the United States. Everybody's aware of the Charleston project, which has been going on for quite a bit, but looks like it's going to come to a close and actually begin construction sometime soon, let's hope. And then the Washington court, which sort of took us all by storm, raised all their funds in less than a year, and
Chases 2 yards.
looks like they're going to break ground in this summer, June.
That's what I understand. So,
Maybe even.
very exciting to see that court, and we're very happy here. We have a lot of connections between
So 3 yards. That is the game.
Washington Club and Boston. In fact, it was Washington members who were sort of first to step up when we were raising money to repair our roof and bring our court back into really true action. And so we're just very pleased with the progress of the Washington court, and we've had a significant number of members who have contributed, Boston members who have contributed to the project. So we're looking to participate in some tournaments soon.
Better than second gallery, 15-0.
Yes, I predict the Washington court opening will rival the Chicago court opening. I've seen drawings of the building. It's conveniently located right next to an Olympic size or greater outdoor swimming pool. I can just imagine playing a tough game of court tennis hit the shower for a couple minutes and take a dive into that pool. Oh my gosh.
2 and 3, 2 chases.
Can't beat it. I understand that the Westwood Country Club, Golf Club, Country
Yes.
Club,
Yeah.
is going to help Washington Court Tennis maintain that open atmosphere to other tennis players as guests.
No, that's
So
great.
it's an important and interesting feature of this game that I did not really know about when I started to play. And what a delightful surprise when Jimmy, who was the head pro at the time, told me, "Oh yeah, if you go to Philly, just call him up, get on court."
Yeah.
Like, what? I can just do that? I'm not a member. He's like, ugh, don't worry about that.
Well, no, certainly. I think some of the most rewarding times I've had at the club has been hosting some of the particularly the traveling clubs from the UK are always a good time, and we're happy to host, and it's been very fun, and always been very eager to reciprocate.
Yes, I've always enjoyed others' hospitality and offering that hospitality myself.
So as we've been talking, this has been a very tight and good match. Really two legends.
Again, 2-2, and we're at deuce.
Yeah. Before the match, Ken and I were speaking, and we thought this might be a quick match, not due to any disparity in skill, but that these points would be a lot of heavy hitting and short points. But that hasn't been the case. We've had some long rallies and a lot of strategic play, and really interesting to watch these two great players.
Yep, Steve Virgona. Ride that ball right up the tambour and tuck it in the corner.
Jays, better than last gallery. What are your game point? Chase is better than last gallery.
Well, Jim was very tight. Nice sidewall there.
3 games to 2.
Tuxedo takes the lead, 3-2.
Risu.
Looks like he's going to stick with that serve. Ooh, so close.
Oh,
Second gallery.
Spoke too soon about absence of heavy hitting.
1 yard. Better than last.
What impresses me about all of these pros is the power that they can put into a backhand. Personally, I feel if I try to put any power into a backhand, it's like a flailing octopus.
well, I mean, the issue is, and this goes back, we were speaking earlier about the idea of understanding the game and then the ability to execute. And one of the things that's really impressive to me is to watch their movement these guys' movement away from the ball or in anticipation of the ball, so that they are in the position to be able to, execute that shot and hit that ball. Whereas, and to leverage their weight so they can put the most amount of power into a shot. Typically, I'm late to the ball, and I'm not in the right position, so I can't leverage that same amount of strength. I'm playing a reactive game because I can't execute. These guys are playing a proactive game. They're 2-3 shots ahead of it, understanding where the ball is, and they're so quick to the ball because of the anticipation, and it makes the game look easy and almost casual at certain points, but it's really not. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of skill.
3 yards. 30, 15.
I endorse everything you said. Honestly, it takes a while of playing this game to understand just how important the footwork is, because this racket and those balls do you absolutely no favors. Both are very heavy, and the technique for playing this game is unique. It's not like the other racket sports. Each racket sport has its best strokes, and court tennis really has its own.
Now, if your body is not in the right position to hit the ball, you won't be able to leverage, and you won't be able to, unless you're incredibly strong.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to really hit a shot. And but it's interesting to see how quick these guys are to the ball, how early they are and prepared position, and again, it's really a privilege to see how the game should be played. And you layer on top of that these guys just being phenomenal athletes.
John Murphy says hello. Robbie Whitehouse says it's amazing how well Tim is moving. He just had a knee replaced 6 weeks ago, but he might ask for his other one to be replaced to be like Tim. How many court tennis pros have had double knee replacements, asks Jake McRae.
4 games to 2.
D. Gromit asks, are there any books available on court tennis?
We have many. We have a nice library here at the TNR. I have a personal library that I've been working on myself, and then visiting in New York, the great library room that they have with large number. But there's a lot of very interesting volumes.
There's some good sort of classic volumes on play. There's the Echebaster book, Pierre Echebaster.
And Chris Ronaldson's
A Cut Above.
A Cut Above.
Great D by Tim right there. If you read those two, you can sort of get a sense of strategy and execution in the game.
The Echebaster book is tough to get your hands on, but it's a really interesting read. And I had, when I was first getting into the game, read that book and Chris Ronaldson's book. And both are, the Echebaster book is actually written by George Plimpton.
Yep. He wrote the foreword and the introduction or whatever, but sort of tried to keep the Echebaster language.
Yes.
Because as a Basque, he had some unique turns of phrase in English. One that I really love is his counsel not to abuse for the Dedon.
That's right.
And I think not really. Obviously, a boost or something like that in French or Spanish, maybe Basque, has a different some different meaning or something. But I just take it to mean don't aim for the Dedon all the time, because you will hit a lot of penthouses.
But those are two, really great books, I think, particularly for someone getting introduced to the game. Chris Ronaldson's book has a great section also on the some descriptions of the first half of the book is instructional, but the second half has descriptions of some of his contemporary players with some interesting insights in how they approach the game. But I've become interested in some of the history of the game and how it's affected culture and art. And I know Freddie Adam has done a lot of work in terms of gathering information about the game's influence on the arts. I understand she may be making an impromptu visit to Boston and may stop in to do a bit of commentary as well.
Good for her. I know that COVID's been an interesting time for tennis in the UK. One of the more avid players there came up with a board game of court tennis called Rest.
Yes, I've seen that.
I have a couple copies myself. I have actually not gotten around to playing it because my wife indulges my court tennis so much. I think asking her to play a board game of court tennis, which is no big surprise, not a short list of rules to that game.
So, very interesting. We have the
It looks like Chisholm has really pulled ahead here, 5-2.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
Let's see if Virgona can stop him from winning that set. Two and 3 chase. Oh, look at that.
1 yard. 30, 40.
Great shot by Tim. Apropos of our conversation about positioning, I find that sometimes these fellows, even if they find themselves out of ideal position, they put the racket on the ball in such a way that you hardly know that they're out of position.
No, that's true. I mean, that's why you have
the defensive playing is just so impressive.
Oh.
It is, layered on top of the, understanding of the game and the sort of preparation. They're just unbelievable athletes, and as talented as anyone we would see in our major professional sports. And the best part is, one of the best parts of this game is, you and I, casual fan, can have interesting conversations with all of these great players. And, particularly we have Tim and Steve here, who will be, historically some of the greatest players ever to play the game. And, it's very rare that mere humans have access to guys like this.
That's right. Both of these gentlemen have challenged Rob Fahey for World Championship. Tim had a run there, 3 World Championships in a row. Steve Virgona How many times did he challenge? Twice? We don't know. Of course, recently it's been all Camden. Rob has retaken the world championship, though. I don't know in the list. We'll have to take a look at the list of world champions to see if any world champion has lost the title and then regained it. I know that the U.S. Court Tennis Association website has a list of the, pretty sure has a list of the world champions of this sport, and that's obviously in our annual report, or this year the triennial report. It was biblical proportions this year, but a gorgeous looking volume for sure.
$15.40.
We're going a couple set balls here. There we go.
Game and the first set to the receiver. 6 games to 3. Second set.
Great playing by Tim Chisholm of Tuxedo.
Love all.
Well, we have, it appears that Fred Covey in the early 1900s was able to regain the championship, but
Interesting.
other than that, that's been a difficult task.
So we got James Mallinson, great coverage and commentary, guys.
15 love.
Well, thank you very much. John Murphy says, and what, I would ask Pierre, may we abuse for?
30 love.
James Mallinson says, here are some of the titles recently available from Ronaldson Publications. His link did not go through, but I know if you Google Ronaldson Publications, there are a number of books there.
No, I've exhausted their catalog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I own them all myself.
Yeah, so that's a great service, and
Worse than 3. 2 chases.
37 viewers right now. Let's see if we can break 50. Many thanks to quite a few folks. Thank you to our sponsors, our main sponsors, the U.S. Court Tennis Association, U.S. Court Tennis Preservation Foundation, and Eastham Capital. Eric Silverman.
in the law firm of Morse, Barnes, Brown, and Pendleton.
All right.
But really, Eric and Eric Silverman, who's a member here in Boston and Eastham Capital, have really, in the last few years, stepped up to support the game, and it's really critical to have that long commitment. So we're very thankful for Eric and for Eastham.
Yes, he is. He's always been a supporter of National League, which is great because
Lost the chase, found 5 yards.
the pros deserve that.
40-15.
The USCTA has increased its support very significantly from the Lot 12 annual fundraiser at the dinner and the national sponsorship program that's been ably run by Jeremy Winterstein so far. I'm sure he would love some help if anybody wants to step up to the plate. Drew Oliveira checking in. Hey, Drew. Great to see you.
40-15.
Drew is the official photographer for the Tennis and Racket Club. So we'll expect him here shortly to do I think a group photo.
Great. Is he going to do it on Kodachrome? That's my question.
I know he has. He is a traditionalist. So.
I love to talk to Drew about music, about photography, about movies, even cars. He's got a particular aesthetic, which I appreciate. Turned me on to some great stuff over the years.
Western second gallery, 40-30.
I'll tell you though, despite the injuries and recoveries, etc., from these fellas, they don't look particularly winded, even at 50 years old. For Tim, I think Tim's 50 now, right?
I'm going to let you opine on that. But no, I'm impressed with the fitness of everyone here, particularly during a long pandemic. Difficult to stay motivated, and you can see,
Great job, Steve.
Yeah, Steve's putting two balls within inches of each other into the Dedans here, and you can tell that's a lot of solo practice time.
That is one tough. Ryan shrugged his shoulders at that one. He was Steve's temporary sparring partner earlier on this week. He said that
15 love.
After a day of running wire and 2 hours of drills with Steve Virgona, he was ready for the permanent ice bath. I've never been so bold myself as to take an ice bath. I'm pretty sure I'd go into heart failure, but I know that's a more and more popular recovery method for professional athletes.
I've had one in at a spa in Poland.
Really? Was it heat and cold?
It was heat and cold, and I can't say I recommend it. I don't think I enjoyed it.
And then a beefy lady beat you with a branch.
I wish it was a beefy lady. It was.
Gave you some borscht.
Yeah. Nope. I had the whole thing.
Some pierogi.
Yeah.
A heavy lunch with some sour cream and.
And 7-4, 2 chases. 30 love.
I discovered there's a Russian bath here in town. I believe in Chelsea. And
there's a Russian bath in Quincy.
Yep.
And I believe there's one in Chelsea as well. Yeah.
I plan on checking that out. I am not going to tick the boxes that include a physical beating.
Yes.
It seems like there's always some element of getting roughed up in those bath experiences. Oof. Unbelievable retrieval there from Steve. Just seems like no ball could evade him sometimes. Looks like Steve is playing with a gold leaf racket right now. Gold leaf is having some tough times these days.
And it's game. 1 game hold.
Sure, COVID has done them no favors.
Where's the last gallery?
I guess on Monday, the UK opens to non-household singles tennis play. I know that'll be a great relief to many British friends out there,
And worse than we are, 2 chases.
including my bud Owen Saunders. We had a great tournament down in Aiken together. We were luckily set up with each other. We were both looking for partners, and then he came that summer down to Newport, and he and his partner Oliver absolutely cleaned our clocks in the final of, I believe that was the Newport Handicap, the last Newport Handicap, the Kip Curran tournament.
Yeah.
My partner there was Paul Jean. Even the great Paul Jean could not save my racket errors. Oh my gosh, I just felt like I could not hit a ball. Couldn't have lost to a nicer duo though.
That's one thing, looking forward to getting back on the travel schedule, doing a few tournaments.
Yeah, I have to say, I've done basically, great shot, Tim. Done basically no travel during this time, and I'm missing the travel that we normally do.
Lost it by worse than 2. 30 love. How's it go?
James Mallinson writing in the comments a number of tennis publications. Thanks very much, James, and hello. Lots of chat on this match. Keep it up.
40 love.
Well, this set has begun similar to the last set, pretty evenly, and then Tim Chisholm just pulled away last set. Before you know it, it was 5-2.
Yeah.
40 love, receiver leads. Hazard at the door. Go.
Well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim likes the perspex.
Receiver leads 2 games to 1.
Bring your earplugs if you plan on sitting in the date on today.
Fifteen love.
James Asher is your marker. I'm Ken Fortin. Been with you most of this tournament so far. Almost.
30 love.
I'll be here again Saturday and Sunday with my commentating partner Mark Beaumont. I think between the two of us, we've almost figured out how to do this well. We'll be increasing our professionalism day to day. Maybe by Sunday it'll be credible. looks like we're still fairly even.
30 love, 7 seconds.
Tim's starting to pull away a little bit. I've been joined today by Matt Mitchell, president of the Tennis and Racket Club and local attorney.
15-30,
What sort of law do you practice, Matt?
Well, I have a bit of an eclectic practice, but mainly I work with
40, 15.
high-tech and startup businesses in connection with employment matters. So it's a really interesting practice, leveraging a lot of the technologies that are coming out of the local universities,
30, 40.
and work with a lot of kind of young, interesting entrepreneurs. And I've had an opportunity to direct them over here to learn about the game, and I've gotten a couple of Harvard and MIT guys who have become interested in the game and have joined the club. So it's been a nice opportunity to combine some professional activities and leisure activities.
Certainly seems like the institutions of higher learning in this area are very serious drivers of this economy.
Yeah, and the game is I'll often host some client events here, and I always get people who are, particularly the scientists, engineers, are very fascinated by the game, and I've had a few clients who have gone in, full head. So it's been interesting.
One to change, so better than 2, and that is the game. 3 games to 1.
It's beginning again. Tim's pulled ahead 3-1.
Yeah. He's it seems he's very comfortable on the receiving end. I'm wondering if it's a strategy. He's can take advantage of that power.
Yeah, it's funny there we go. It's funny, the received wisdom, of course, is that you want to serve, and that you want to lay chases because you want to serve. You're at such an advantage because, let's face it, the hazard side is not called the hazard side for no reason. You have the winning gallery, you have the grill, you have the tambour. They're all trouble. But the one thing that you do have over there is your first offensive opportunity in that service return. And one thing Tim harped on when he was teaching us how to play tennis and how to play doubles was serve and return, serve and return, serve and return. Your tennis game is really never going to progress if you don't learn how to serve better and how to return better. And so, if you can learn how to hit a credible cut volley, you'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I can tell. We have a fairly bouncy back wall here, and Tim's just taking those and right into the dance. I can see Steve's trying to avoid those serves that are bouncing off that back wall to sort of take that away. It's interesting, the strategy, a little bit of a chess match going on, and it looks like Steve's trying to figure it out.
Oh, just incredible how these fellas can, in the middle of a point, just bury these balls so regularly right near the neck. Perched over my shoulder is my old partner in crime, Mark Beaumont.
Advantage. Chisholm.
So I just stepped out for a minute there, but I see that Chisholm's 3-1 ahead, which makes me wonder what Steve Virgona's mobility is like. Now, I spoke to him earlier in the dressing room, and he said that his one hope for this competition was that he didn't draw Camden Riviere in the first round. And of course, that's exactly what happened. So we saw that he stepped out yesterday to give his ankle a rest. But he's back today. But I can't help thinking that we're not seeing Steve Virgona at 100% today.
I'd have to agree. I think he's left. Kudos to him for showing up for this championship for the National League, and I'm sure he's got several things on his mind. One, I just had this surgery in January. Two, I have a job that I still need to do at the racket club in Chicago. I have a number of matches to play over these 5 days. I can't injure myself too badly early on. He's also a fairly new papa. He's got to keep himself somewhat healthy for the family. Very tough when your body is your tool for work.
This is true, and these guys, again, world-class athletes, but not the same accolades they get from an NBA star or an NFL star. So they're really doing this for a passion for the game and a willingness to support all the people that love the game. So it's really exceptional to see these guys and be able to see them in this format is great as well.
And of course, we're spoiled here at the TNR because we see Camden Riviere around so often, and he's been the number 1 ranked player for the longest time now, and you start to think like, oh well, this is the standard we can all play at, and then you realize no, he can do things that only he can do at this point. It's funny, the first big tournament that was played here, when I first started playing, was 2007 World Doubles, and at that point, there was a call around to billet some of the pros, and I was living in the city of Boston, but not that close. 5-2 now, Chisholm. He must be hoping to close this out. And I said, yeah, I'll put someone up, but I don't really live that close, and you have to take like a bus and a train to get there. This is pre-Uber. Taxis are a pain in the neck in the neighborhoods in Boston. And I ended up putting up 2 fellows, like on my sofa bed. And, the look on their face when they came in and they're like, we're both on one sofa bed in Rosendale. Like, sorry guys, I explained everything to the organizers, and one of them did not come back after the first night. He found another place to sleep.
Yeah.
I felt so bad, but not my fault. Excellent serve there from Steve.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Last gallery.
Apparently you don't need two good ankles to do a deadly railroad. Hello.
Well done. Yeah.
Don't need two good ankles to hit a grill either.
Dirty love.
Well, obviously, the pros are doing this because of their love of the game and their love of this community. So it's another couple of good shots, but it's we're really privileged to host these guys.
Steve is holding off Titanium Tim for now.
Yard worse than
Now
second
Tim's going to
gallery.
serve. Let's see if he
One chase, 40 love.
pulls out those. Well, he's not going to do a high sidewall on this. At a yard worse than second, of course, he wants to serve something tight into that forehand corner.
Receiver leads. A yard worse than second
Cut
gallery.
off the angle to the galleries on the service side. Oh, that's an error. Yep. Easy shot for Steve
The point
Virgona.
and the game. 3 games to 5.
All right, 3-5. Let's see how antsy Tim gets.
Bolts.
He's back to that high sidewall. Oh.
15 love.
It's a difficult thing when you're playing this game as an amateur and you hit a number of balls and you think I don't even need an opponent to defeat myself.
Bolts.
2 points away from the match for Tim Chisholm. Oh yeah, just an everyday defense there.
Bolts.
Out of court,
40 love.
match ball. Great cross
Chase
court
worse
from
than the
Steve
yard, 40
Virgona there.
love.
What's our chase? Worse than one. Only two ways to play that.
40 love. Receiver leads. Chase worse than a yard.
I think I know which one Tim likes.
Yeah. This is coming right at your face, Ken.
Good crush. Didn't work that
15,
time.
40.
Power. 15-40. Steve does not like that ball. Of course, he's got to be very careful right now. He's got
Bolts.
fault. He's got a number of match balls here. Just a volley fest out there. Great over for Steve. And in we go.
What a great way to end it.
Fantastic
What a great
ending to
match.
this match. 6-3 to Tim Chisholm in the second set. All right, that is the end of our morning play. Tune back in at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and Mark Beaumont, who was with me briefly here, will be on the mic. Who's going to be with you, Mark?
John Edwards, I think.
All right. The Senator is going to be back in town. Everybody's excited. It's lunchtime now. we'll be back at 4, and I will see you tomorrow bright and early again at 10 a.m. Thank you very much, Matt Mitchell, for joining us.
A pleasure, Ken.
Okay, great. See you all at 4.